Back, everyone. We have Topps Road to WrestleMania from 2017, an entire case of hanger boxes. Now, I haven't opened hanger boxes on this channel yet. However, back when I was buying baseball cards and stuff like that, I bought quite a few hanger boxes then, and I actually typically had okay luck on getting at least minor hits, or of the sort, like smaller hits as it comes to hanger boxes. So hopefully this holds true for this also. Really great deal on this. Probably because it's the older Road to WrestleMania set. But I couldn't pass it up. It was really cheap to get a bunch of the cards. I mean, I have the ability to maybe get a whole base set at least out of this. That's pretty good. So, we are going to start with number one and just work at 6 of these. There's 42 cards in it. I don't think I've opened up this Road to WrestleMania set. So I know I opened this year's, but I don't think I've opened anything else. So I think we should probably open from the bottom. Well, like a smaller pack and a bigger pack, so we'll have to check that out. But we're gonna start with this bigger pack. See what we get. I'm filming this extremely early on a Tuesday. I didn't get to watch Raw, so I'm gonna have to watch it on the internet through Hulu or through the USA website. We will have to see what happened, especially with the drama concerning Orton and Edge. And I want to check out I really want to see how the McIntyre match with Baron Corbin went. A little bit of Sasha Banks action. I really like the Road to WrestleMania cards. I always think they're very clean looking. Bray Wyatt. Sev. Here is Shane McMahon. Here is the your mom there, Becky Lynch. Actually, a really nice looking card of her if it'll focus. There you go. Really nice looking card of hers. Ah, yes. John Cena getting his tribute card, which I don't have as much hate for John Cena as some people tend to have. Focus. But I do think it's funny he has I do think it's funny he has tribute cards in but it's fine. Back when he came back at that at the Rumble from that year, that was pretty awesome. Dana Brooke. Yeah, back when I was doing baseball cards, and it was primarily Topps baseball cards because it was just Topps is who I always collected. growing up when I was collecting them when I was younger, it was Topps baseball cards. It's what I bought. They were the most available too. I could buy those at the grocery store. I mean, I could buy them anywhere. Buy them at the little neighborhood corner store we had. And I mean, honestly, I wasn't even like back then when I was growing up and it was baseball cards and stuff like that. I would collect anybody that I knew their name from TV, but then I tried to just get as many of the Royals as I could because I mean they were my team. I'm a Kansas City boy. Um, that's what I went for was I went for my Royals. I'd go for anybody that I knew. Nolan Ryan's, guys like that, big name. But I cared mostly about my Freebirds going into the Hall of Fame. Well deserved. Well deserved. I'm a huge fan. They were awesome and they were great foils to LOD. Such a stark contrast. The Legion of Doom. Or, I'm sorry, the Road Warriors. My my growing up as a WWE watcher showing. Oh yeah, and AJ making his WWE debut in the Rumble. I remember watching that Rumble, and I hadn't really been following. I'm somebody who, if I'm not following wrestling at the time, because I've gone in and out on wrestling. I mean, I think everybody does, and it's okay to take a break from things, but I'd catch the pay-per-views, and so I'm sitting there, and I liked AJ Styles in TNA, and a lot of his indie work and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there like, well, okay, Rumble time is going to be awesome. And then AJ Styles' music hit, and I'm like, wait, is that? And it's because it said I am phenomenal, and I'm like, nah, he's not. If sure enough, it was AJ Styles, and that was just an amazing moment that in this day with the internet and leaks and everybody knowing everything, it really takes away a lot of the surprise of what's going to happen, and I don't like that as much. Like that thrill when the Hardy Boys showed up at WrestleMania for the ladder match, like nobody knew that was happening. Nobody knew. They kept it a really good secret, and then when you hear that music and they come out, good God, man, that was an amazing moment. Um, I hope I really want them to have more of those moments in wrestling because that's part of what made wrestling so fun. I'm a comic book fan. Can't tell. I love comics, and the reason I gravitated to wrestling is because it's like reading a comic in real and watching it in real life. It was the closest thing we had to comic book movies. When I was little. Here is that didn't have Christopher Reeve in it, which no hate towards those movies. I actually love those. So here's this. I don't know what's in here. I don't know. It just might be cards. Maybe this is like if you have a relic, it'll go on the side. Um, these are more Road to WrestleMania cards. These are very distinct. I like these. Check these out. Finn Balor. God, his whole persona is just freaking awesome. Kevin Owens. I mean, everybody knows how much of a fan I am of Kevin Owens. If you've watched these openings lately, he has it all. Like he really does. He gets it, just like AJ. Like both of them. Like they get it. They understand what it is to be like to be a star, like be at the top. They get it. They understand, and it's rare because a lot of guys are great and wonderful workers, tell great stories, but there's just something to where like somebody like AJ, Kevin Owens, like they click on a completely different level. Whether the company wants them to or not, it's like they're destined to be best. They're destined to be amazing. Destined to be great. Number two, and we are gonna open it from the bottom. Been a long time since I bought these, so now that I'm thinking back, I always opened them from the bottom when I put them. Now, I like these. You don't get that satisfying sound. Put the extra pack to the side. And I always like on these, especially with these Road to WrestleMania ones, it seems like they have the individual cards right up front. All of your individual stars, which is fantastic. All right. Woo woo woo. Luke Harper. But I really want guys to come back to wrestling. Like when The Rock was announced as the special guest host of WrestleMania. I mean, everybody thought it was freaking Justin Bieber because all that stuff was out that WWE's talking to Justin Bieber and he's going to be your WrestleMania host. Blah blah blah. And everybody was like, God, this is going to be awful. And even if that was the plan and it was just bad, bad. They got a bad reaction from. Nobody expected The Rock to come out at that point. Nobody thought it was going to be The Rock. But man, as soon as his music hit and he walked out, that arena, amazing. That reaction, fantastic. Stephanie McMahon, a phenomenal one. So it's little things like that that really, and again, it's the guys coming back because it's the trope. Huh? Now this is a few years too late, but I got a. I'll still try it. WWE Slam redemption card. I'll see if I can redeem it. It's me. It's me. It's D. Diamond Dallas Page was Monday Night War WCW was my favorite wrestler in WCW was Diamond Dallas Page. It started during his feud with Macho Man and just how absolutely amazing that like I already knew how great Macho Man was. And it really just brought DDP to the front and it Mach made him a star. Flat out, the Macho Man Randy Savage made like DDP would have been great still, but he wouldn't have like. Sometimes you need that rub, and he got it from Randy Savage, and it was amazing. Reigns, Brock Lesnar. But yeah, I just really want to see more of the comic book element stuff, prize comebacks, and all that stuff. Um, Lita going off the title. They transitioned it away from being the Divas title and just women's championship. It was such a big moment. Especially for somebody like her who was so. Lita was good. She was really good at the ring. She was good in the ring, and like it just almost like she was almost like she was underrated. Like everybody loved her, but she didn't have a chance to really shine because she had such a limited amount of talent to work with that the matches got. I mean, the matches would get stale because you can only have so many, especially televised matches with the same person, you know, over a certain amount of time. The great thing about the division now have such a variety for them to work that they are able to showcase more. It's the way the men have been for so long to where, you know, get tired of seeing guys work. Well, they can go on into programs with someone else just to come back. Look at Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. Like they had a rivalry the entire time. That being said, they were able to go, you know, feud with Taker and others, but never lessen the feud that they had. And that's something that now they can do in the women's division. And I think that that is not appreciated nearly enough. The Undertaker defeated Shane McMahon in Hell in a Cell. I have been watching Undertaker Last Ride on WWE Network. And I'll tell you that thing is like I've gotten emotional watching it just from like how much how much him entertaining us means to him. Um these are all the same exact ones that were in the other little small pack. So I don't know if it's always going to be that. I mean, you wouldn't think so, but it's the exact same cellophane package. The Finn Balor card that I said was so great. Um, Kevin Owens hitting the frog splash to Sasha to the AJ Styles defeating um, Dean Ambrose for the title. I don't know. Hopefully that's not a like. I don't think it would be like that's the only one. It just might be. There's only certain ones in certain packs. Like if you get the pack with them, like you're only going to get them together. I don't know. We'll find out. We still have this and 3 others. Plenty to go through. This is probably going to be a bit longer of a video, but okay, yeah. This one's different, so that's good. I would really like to see a hit out of this. Now I do have some upcoming in other videos. I have a couple of the 2017 base set, just the WWE set. And those are blaster boxes, so we'll get hits in that. Then I have some heritage of the fat packs. For those coming in a video. Roman Reigns. This is my reminder. At the end of the month, give away all doubles that were collected within that month, and I send them out. Depending on when this posts, because I'm able to do about a week in advance worth of recordings, which for my sanity is freaking amazing. I think we'll probably still be in May when this goes up, which that'll be the first month that we do the giveaway. So, of Sasha Banks, actually a pretty big fan of Sasha Banks. I really like her. We got another plan, digital card. So again, I'll see if that's a thing still. And the redemption cards might not work anymore since this is an older set, but what's it hurt? What's it hurt to try? I like stuff, so I like collecting things. It's always been a thing. I had comics since I was real little. Baseball cards, comic cards. That's why I'm looking at some comic cards, and I saw a set that I collected when I was young. I know that means they're ancient, but I saw it when I was looking for deals on wrestling cards, and I'm like, well, I remember that set, and I collected the heck out of it. There's a couple of them, and I am thinking about pulling the trigger on it. I just got done recording the very first, which will probably be the last video that I posted, which was my very first comic book mystery box opening. I mean, with my love of comics, I might as well share that too. I have my stream over on Theta. Haven't checked it out, where the T-Fuel shirt came from, because you can earn sweet, sweet cryptocurrency over there on Theta. That's where I get to share my love of video games. So that's one great thing is I have that outlet for that. And this, I originally started, and if you look back, I just kind of clips from streams or other content, but it was video game stuff. I feel like I wasn't able to share everything, and I kind of asked myself, why wasn't I? I have this completely other outlet with my YouTube. So rather than just saturating it with more video games, which I already have an opportunity to share with you guys. We get to play video games, have fun. Rage at Destiny, which is something that happens quite often. Why not share with you my love of other things, especially collectibles? And so here we are. So yeah, this pack, already saw it was different by the first one. So, Dean Ambrose beating Dolph Ziggler. There's Ziggler card. Have Finn Balor relinquishing the title. We have Finn Balor defeating Roman Reigns for a title shot. And then Triple H returns to interfere in the title match. So, awesome Road to WrestleMania cards. So that makes me feel better. That one's different. So like I said, it might be the whole. If you get this card, these like it's only these cards that are together in those little side packs. But yeah, back when I was collecting these on the baseball, I would get hits. So it's not impossible to get one. I don't know what the odds of any kind of in the hanger boxes are, but it is possible. So Mark Henry having some online drama, which, whatever. Apparently they're just bored from all the lockdown and no audience shows, so it is what it is. AJ Styles should have here a couple of days my time, probably the week following this upload when you see it, but I should have in 2 days a blaster box of the very first edition of. So I would like to go through a video recording session where I don't drop something. I really would. Every time. Every time. But I have the very first edition of TNA cards, and it's supposed to have a guaranteed autograph. I'm very excited for that. You guys can kind of keep your eyes out for when that one happens. And kind of take a walk through memory lane of the when TNA was trying to take an actual push. And they had a bunch of really big players at the time. Nations. Hey, we getting enough cards to make a second stack here. That is that's a nice thing. We still have two boxes. So I really like the value on this that I got. I was worried. I didn't know kind of like, I knew I'd gotten blaster boxes, but back when I collected baseball cards, especially for myself, it was open, look for the good ones, and just kind of toss the rest aside. I mean, like I wouldn't trash them, but it would just be like, these are bulk, these are the ones that are worth it. Where you don't really get that with wrestling cards, and again with wrestling cards, they tell, especially like the Road to WrestleMania, the SummerSlam set, they tell a story, and I at least want to kind of take the moment to appreciate them and the story that they're telling at the time. I still say that so far my favorite group of like the heritage sets is my favorite. I like all of these modern cards. They look fantastic. Look at them. That being said, there is something about the heritage sets. They look old school. They feel old school. I get a lot more of like the guys I grew up with. And I mean, let's be honest, nostalgia is a thing. Like it's something that especially if it's something that you love, and it hits you right there in that a happy place, where you're like, God, I remember this guy, or I remember this exact moment when that happened. It takes you back. And little things like that are fun because they're like, I try to do that with my kids, make moments where they will, when they get older, something will happen, it'll pull them right back to that moment. I think that's really important. And like little things do it with me, especially when it comes to like wrestling and like comics and all the things that I really enjoyed. That's why when I was looking, because if you look right there, that's a Monster Hunter World little print thing that I have up here, but it's in the way of the Dungeons and Dragons old D&D books. And I used to play Dungeons and Dragons and Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and I remember getting together with friends. This is that little Road to WrestleMania subset. Getting together with friends and playing, and so when I saw that, it was that nostalgia factor of going back and going, oh, I remember doing that. I remember how fun that was and how much I loved doing that, every week. So yeah, that's why I bought that exact one. Or the poster of Giant Size X-Men. Never owned it, but I remember that being like one of the holy grails when I was younger that I always wanted to get. I couldn't afford it. There was no way I was ever going to get Giant Size X-Men #1. But it was that book, like, get it? It was like, I mean, I wasn't able to get. I don't have it now, but when I was younger and for my collection, I had a roommate out. He stole my collection, but I had the first appearance of Rogue and the first appearance of Jubilee and Gambit. And those were my grails. Like, I saved up money from actual paychecks, from actual jobs, and went out and got those key books. They weren't, rating wasn't really a thing like it is now or anything, and weren't graded or anything, but they're in decent shape. And yeah, I remember getting those books, and like, so now, like, I watch a lot of same stuff that I make up, unboxing videos, and and I'll see somebody pull like or have up like their copy of like Avengers Annual 10 or whichever, and I'm just sitting there like, God, that book. I bought it. I remember going to Books and Comics, Kansas City, and getting it, and like I remember the first day I got it was the very first like major first appearance I got was Jubilee. I remember just holding it, staring at it. And I'm at 17, 18, right? But I'd been wanting these books for so long, and I just hadn't been able to get them myself. And I remember just holding it, staring at it, and just being like, "This is mine now. Like, I own it. Mine. I can put it in my collection, and I'll have it forever." Little did I know how short forever was going to be. I love those feelings where like you work towards that goal and you finally get it in your hands, and great. Yeah, and I have that feeling a lot of times for wrestling too, especially I'll watch on the network shows that I was at live, and that was just like, and like the memories just come right back, like down to like the smell of the arena and remembering had this drink, or we got nachos, and down to those little minor details. And you remember being at like the Slamboree with the triple cage where David Arquette turns on Diamond Dallas Page to make sure that Jeff Jarrett becomes the champion. Oh, like, so many people hate that pay-per-view and have horrible. I was there, man. I love that pay-per-view just because like I got to see it live, and it was like something that I look forward to. I always saved up. I took my brother, and we would go and just so much fun watching. It was great. Guess what happened, guys? Can you guess? Can you guess? Dropped one. Dropped it. Okay. But yeah. The only time I didn't have an absolute fantastic time was Over the Edge. I was there. Kansas City. Not gonna get deep into it, but yeah, if you know what happened, just Google WWF Over the Edge, Kansas City, and yeah, you'll well, that was probably one of the I think I've talked about it, but yeah, it was one of the hardest. No, I know for a fact I talked about it on here, but yeah, it one of the hardest days I've ever experienced. Only time I can think of not just having a blast at a wrestling show. I've been to a lot of indie shows, local indies, sitting down watching, the young guys who nobody's ever heard of yet, or some of them had guys who came from WWE or WCW and aren't there anymore, working them. I was upset that I was not able to go to AEW when it came through town before the whole stuff happened. I hope they come back. I want to. I want to try to go. And I know at some point, like, although my daughter isn't big into wrestling, I really want to take my kids. I want them to experience being at a live show. I also want to take them to places like Globetrotters. We took them to go see a few years ago. Saw Disney on Ice, and that was such a fun experience for them. I mean, I enjoyed it too. It was a really nice show. Like I said, it's that making the memory thing. You know? Something that sticks in their head forever, and they're like, "Oh God, you remember when?" I might take a break after this video. I still have three to record, but I'm gonna take a break. Um, I just want to make those memories. I think it's important. I always try hard to do that kind of stuff. It's not always easy because we are the whole, like mom is full time. I get them during the summer. I get them 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, which is fantastic. I get them a lot. Seeing more, you'll see a lot more. Like I'm gonna get some more stuff for Aurora's to upload. The boy's a little too young, but I try to make sure that we have stuff that we can do together too, not just me and Aurora's. And then as he gets older, introduce him to this world of the whole like online thing, and like the exposure that Aurora gets is very curated at this. We have a lot of discussions about like because she watches YouTube, of course, like every child, but we have a lot of discussion over this is not real, this is real, you know, don't believe everything everybody tells you, that kind of stuff. Like we talk, and I think that's so important, especially in this day and age where everybody wants to attack, be it wrestling or video game, basically all the things I really like, for being kids need to be no, kids need to be kids, need to talk to them. Um, they're more resilient than you think. Nobody had to talk with me about, and I grew up with GI Joe, He Man, all that. But it's all about their what if how well they perceive what is make believe. And again, my generation, we were lucky. We had Mr. Rogers, good at teaching us that make believe. This is real. Make believe is good. Make believe is great. But it is make believe. We have those discussions with my kids a lot. Help them. I think that's really important. The last one, guys. I don't know if I showed off the front properly, but that's what that looked like. I want to make sure I get you guys good shot of what the front of the and just a bunch of fine print on the back. But yeah, I don't know. I've been rambling talked about all sorts of stuff this video. Probably what led to my inability to hold on to. I do not think we're gonna have a hit in these. I mean, I guess autograph cards are thin enough that they can be hidden, but I don't think we're getting one, but that's okay. Right, we've had a great discussion. Great talking. Take a moment in the comment section and tell me that memory that about when you were younger, that moment that always hit you, and what was it? Or that one thing that you worked really hard to finally buy and you were able to get it. What was it? What was that one thing? With those new arcade cabinets that you buy in retail now, I know a lot of people are like, man, to buy a Street Fighter game or whatever. And now with those, they're able to own it. That's awesome. I really want to get. I think they have one. I know they have the Ninja Turtles. I want to know if they have X-Men. I want to get. I don't have a single place to put it. I cannot bring that into this house. But man, if I could, I would get the X-Men arcade game. Me and my brother lived within walking distance of a bowling alley that had that arcade cabinet, the X-Men arcade. Go up there 2 times a week. Not eat lunch at school. Save the lunch money. Any money we got for else, like mowing lawns, kind of allowance. Basically any way we could get. Ayatollah of rock and rolla. Any way we could get money, and we would save it up and go up and play that game. So fun. Like, I love that game. Love that game. I typically play Dazzler or Wolverine, and my brother, like, Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler was like, that was his jam. And yeah, but we played it and we finally beat it. Oh. When you spend that much time learning and working on an arcade game, finally win. Fantastic feeling. You're just like, you get that, like, like that, like, kind of like stutter in when you breathe in because you're so excited. And definitely we got that when we finally beat that game. I mean, that was amazing. Getting down to the nitty gritty. A few more cards left. This is a longer than anticipated video. However, I think this is probably one of the better ones I have probably made. I don't know. I just kind of let myself talk. Maybe I need to do that more. it being so bottled up. I don't know. I always feel like a lot of YouTubers out there, and they're super excited, and like, they're able to have a lot of energy and stuff, and like, it's not that I can't, it's I don't want you guys to feel like I'm fake as I'm doing it. I think that's my biggest fear doing this, is that people think that I'm not genuine as I'm doing it, and like, I don't ever want that to be the case. I pride myself on what you see is what you get. Um, there's a lot of people out there, they put on a show and that it's great. I mean, I love that. That's awesome. I'd much rather just sit back, enjoy things that I love with you guys, and have just some good, heartfelt, honest conversation. To me, that is the best thing that could ever exist. All right, Sasha Banks. I know we've had this card before. I know we've had a few doubles, and still going to the giveaway, guys. Don't worry. They're gonna go to you. There's The Rock. Takes out the New Day. Here is the last one of these little side Road to WrestleMania. I like these little Road to WrestleMania cards. And other than the first two packs were identical. After that, we haven't had any of the packs be the same. So that must have just been kind of a benefit of a retail box. Sometimes you just get the luck. Here's your last one. Versus of the Queen. I'm a big Charlotte fan. I know a lot of people aren't real big on her right now, but I like her. I really do. I've liked her since she debuted. And we've gotten a few of these top slam stuff, so I don't know, we'll find out if it works. So guys, that's it for today. Gonna be like a almost a freaking hour long video almost. So I appreciate you guys so much, especially if you stuck around to the end. God, you guys are amazing. Um Hit the like, sub button, it'll appear, yeah, over there. Hit that. Tell people what we do here. Hear it. See you guys next time, guys. And don't forget, be good.